Lollapalooza has gone from being a fringe thing to promoting popular music.
Oh my God, here come the bad boys of hard rock.
People are like, what the is this?
We were a victim of our own success.
Lollapalooza, the rock summer tour, died this week.
I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was very embarrassed.
So we contacted Perry.
He looked like he had lost a child.
And it was reborn.
It's on.
A docuseries tells the story of Chicago's biggest music festival, which Perry Farrell founded in 1991. Lolla, the story of Lollapalooza, chronicles the ups and downs of the event from its early days as an anti-establishment alt-rock tour to its resurrection as a wildly popular festival.
Michael John Warren is the director and executive producer of the docuseries, and he joins us now. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you all doing?
Very well. It's been so interesting to follow the history and evolution of Lollapalooza, especially, since we've been like ultra covering it since it's made its home here in Chicago. And I think it was during the Chicago years, right, that it really became such a mainstream event and not this little fringe alt festival that it started off as.
Well, actually, no, it blew up really fast. In 1991, it was sort of very underground. And then for a couple of years, it sort of wrestled with its undergroundness. And the problem with sort of that kind of counterculture is it became very mainstream really quickly. And within a few years, it was the hottest ticket in the country. And then eventually it sort of becomes a victim of its own success and literally fails. And then Chicago is the rebirth. So it actually was in the zeitgeist of America really early on, and then died and then comes back alive in Chicago.
Yeah, how would you define the festival now? Has it regained its status now?
Yeah, I think in some ways it's bigger than it's ever been. It's more sort of it's more solid than it's ever been. It's international now. So it's not this sort of those early days of Lolla where, please watch watch the whole series, but the first episode really details how it almost shouldn't have worked. It was a ridiculous idea that Perry had. They really captured lightning in a bottle, but it fell apart because it was almost too bold and too insane. So the Chicago side of it sort of takes what was so special about those early years and sort of puts it in a more repeatable format. And then like I said, they've taken it international now. So it's bigger than ever.
How did Lollapalooza wind up in Chicago? Were other cities hoping to land it as well?
Yeah, C3, the company that helps Perry put on the show now, basically pitched Perry. They saw, I think, a bit in a newspaper, in a Chicago newspaper, saying that the city was looking to bring something big in to help with funding for programs that were being cut. And C3 called up Perry and says, hey, let's try getting Lollapalooza to Chicago. And a member of C3 actually went to, I believe, like a town hall meeting and raised her hand during the town hall and said, I think I have something for you. And then it all sort of came together.
How delicate is that balance between finding headliners that will attract ticket sales versus also giving bands that maybe are a little less known some exposure that maybe perhaps are in different genres of music?
It's a very delicate balance. And one thing that makes Lolla different in my perspective is that there is an artist, Perry Farrell, who's very much at the head of this thing. And I think that's one of the things that makes it special. Of course, it's a balance between making money, which is an important part of any sort of successful endeavor, but also staying true to the art. And I think what the series talks about a lot through the episodes is that balance and how do you do it. And sometimes, frankly, they didn't do it. But now, like I said, they've sort of figured out the formula. So it's a delicate balance. But because there's so many stages, they have the ability to bring a lot of sort of underground artists in now. You'll see early in the day at Lollapalooza, people who maybe have never even played to more than 50 people, but suddenly they're on Lollapalooza. And so it's a delicate balance, but it's one that they've sort of figured out over the years.
It's always so interesting every year when I'm out there covering it of what the controversy of the year is going to be. I remember when they brought in an EDM, electronic dance music stage, and everyone's mind was blown. And they brought Paul McCartney in, and everyone's mind was blown. I guess that's part of the growing pain of the festival every year, right?
Absolutely. And for me, so again, I was part of that sort of alternative culture as a child. And when it first happened, and when they first brought on Metallica back in the mid 90s, that offended me as like an alt kid, because by that point, Metallica was a juggernaut, right? They weren't like Susie and the Banshees or Jane's Addiction or the bands that I thought were so cool and underground. So they've been sort of dealing with that controversy the whole time. And the EDM thing, it's like Perry's just been ahead of the curve the whole sort of time. He understood that this was going to be major. He might have been too ahead of the curve when he first really introduced it to Lollapalooza, because there was a lot of blowback for it. But now look at what EDM is now. It's huge.
Yeah, I know. This is how I can tell who's a Lollapalooza expert and who's not. Who knows how Lollapalooza got its name? I know that you do because it's in the docu-series. But how did it get its name?
You're asking me, or you're asking
I'm
the public?
asking you. I'm asking you, yeah.
Yeah, well, Perry basically went into a dictionary and found the word Lollapalooza, which basically means a large lollipop, and it's, you know, something big and brilliant. And he instantly was like, this is it. And he called everyone up and was like, we're going to call it Lollapalooza. And they were all like, that is a crazy
Didn't he see
name.
it in a Three Stooges movie, is what Perry told me.
That's one. Oh, Perry told you that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Perry has a lot of versions of that story. I think they're all true. I do think they're all true, but the one he told me was sort of that he was looking through the dictionary and found it that way. But he has referenced the Three Stooges as well.
Lala, I'm going to ask him about it when he comes to town.
Please do.
Lala, the story of Lollapalooza is on Paramount Plus right now. And for more, follow Michael on social media. Thank you for joining us, Michael Scott Warren. Appreciate it.